Hi everyone, it's Victor speaking. And today we will be speaking about the Virgo season. And this is exactly the reason why I chose the background picture as well, because Virgo season is all about harvest. So what we should know about Virgo is that this is actually, it's going to be actually entering the sign of Virgo on the 22nd of August, and it will be there till the 22nd of September. Now, my aim with these videos is to make astrology available for everyone and to kind of help you to guide your life with the effects of the stars. So if you like the video, then you can support the channel by subscribing, liking it and sharing the content with others as well. And also you can press the notification bell too, so that you get reminded when a new update is coming on my channel. Now, basically, this Virgo season is still related to the summer season. So the summer starts with the Cancerian energies, the equinox, and then followed by Leo, and then the third one is, which is a mutable sign, by the way, is leading us up to autumn. Now, the mutable energies are all about changes and kind of like preparation for those changes as well. So even though very shortly it's going to be an autumn period, but from an astrological perspective, this is still summer. Now, Virgo is an earth sign, which is all about rationality, acceptance, the earth itself, right? And what does the earth do? It actually accepts the seeds and the water, and then eventually it's making it producing something so we can actually harvest. So Mercury is a Mercury ruled sign, which is all about practicality, communication, and also from a mundane perspective, it is associated with the sixth house matters in the natural chart. So one of a few of the best qualities of Virgo is very much about the flexibility, the adaptability. It's kind of like using the mental power quite a lot, but at the same time, it's very practical as well. Now, if you think about the glimpse of Virgo, actually it looks like a letter M, and which is probably something to do with the maiden or the Virgin Mary energy, but there is no really real fact about why this is the symbol of Virgo. But if you looked at, for instance, how it looked like on the symbol on cards, which I love using, then you would see this pure woman, probably a virgin, who actually kneels down and then sorting out all the crops. So again, that is just very much indicating to us that it's something to do with the harvest season. So if you really think about what harvesting is, it's all about sorting out things, right? And it's very much about to make sure that we've got enough of those tomatoes and jams, what we can prepare for the entire winter season. Now, this is a passive sign, so it typically talks about internal changes or how we actually sort things out within ourselves as well. And the mutable signs, as I said, it usually indicates the end of something. So the cardinal is very much about the start of the season. The fixed sign is actually the middle of the season when that energy is kind of booming. And then lastly, the mutable one is the preparation for change. Now, typically, in Virgo season, what I would like to actually do in this video is I want to go through what to do, for instance, and what not necessarily do during Virgo season. But definitely the sun was in the sign of Leo, which was all about fun and entertainment. And now we need to go back to reality. So what is that reality really? So Think about it. It's all about kids are going back to school very shortly. So therefore, you as a grown-up, your lifestyle is going to be changing slightly bit also, because maybe you can go back to your old routines, which you couldn't necessarily do during the summer period. Right? So it's kind of like ringing the bell at school that the lesson starts, right? So that kind of indicates that the autumn is around the corner. Now, Virgo is all about organizing things inside out in our environment as well as within ourselves. So this is typically the time when the older generation used to make those jams and getting ready for the winter, buying the wood, what they need in the cold season. It's all about pretty much running some type of errands and how I will make sure I have enough to last in the entire winter season. In actually many culture, September is kind of the month when they start doing some cleaning projects as well. So they clean the windows and then basically before they switch on the fire, right? Or before they switch on the heating, they do kind of like a spring clean. Now we can actually call this as a autumn clean, basically. Right. And as I also mentioned, this sign is associated with the sixth house matters. So on a global level, sixth house is something to do with your daily life, your routine, the service industry overall, but also it could be representing your pets and something to do with your working conditions, also with your health as well. Now, Virgo season usually tells us that it's actually time to get checked out, time to actually clean the home, to make it ready for the autumn period. It actually tells us that it's a very good idea to kind of look around in the storage area, what we need, what we don't need, kind of making place for the new stuff to come into our life, getting ready for that Libra season, which is all about, again, initiation point. Virgo overall wants order. It wants to create order from chaos. And it's an analytical sign as well. So it wants to be, it wants to understand the process of everything. So this time around, actually, this is what we can do. The best thing is to make some beautiful order with your files or you know, in your wardrobe or in the storage area and so on. Also, towards the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about some medical stuff as well, actually, which might be very beneficial for you, right? So, but also when it comes to that Virgo energy, well, that really talks about to look at or to examine our routines, to examine our diet or exercise regime. So Virgo is ready to work hard and it has got the desire to continuously improve, to actually restore all the functions what might have been, you know, neglected in the summer period. So I'll give you an example. For instance, when I joined the gym in April, the gym used to be full, and then in the summer it was completely empty. And I reckon once the Virgo season comes around, September, people might have put on a little bit of a weight during the summer period because the holidays and all those type of lovely things. So people are going to return back to their original routine. Okay, so Virgo is about purity and cleanliness. So we might actually see that EHO is going to be visiting restaurants, for instance. That's very possible. But no matter what you choose to do, it's all about getting rid of the clutter in your life, internally and on a physical level as well. So maybe this is a time when we should be calling an engineer to get the heating system checked, right? Or this is going to be the time when actually we're going to start, let's say, do the yearly maintenance on the air conditioning as well. and so forth. So Virgo is about maintenance and fixing things. But Virgo has got a tendency to get stuck in little problems because it's a controlling sign. So try to focus on, try to be systematic, which you are extremely good at. And then starting with the most important problems, going down to the nitty-gritty part of things. So it's all about prioritizing. But sometimes Virgo gets paralyzed when it comes to things like being too analytical, or they want to be perfectionist in a sense. And in order for us to understand what perfectionism is about, we need to understand Pisces, the opposite sign as well. And Pisces is kind of like the universal law, right? And Virgo is very humanitarian. So Virgo is kind of like an apprentice, and the Pisces is very much about that universal law, what is presented to us, right? And because the universe looks so perfect, Virgo is actually thriving to achieve that perfectionism as well at the same time, and it wants to make it practical. So not many people believe or know that, but Pisces can be quite a perfectionist as well. And of course, in a sense, they are opposite signs, so they carry some of their features. So what you can do during Virgo season is fixing things. Look around in your home. What is broken? What needs to be fixed? It's time to actually act on it. It's brilliant time to do something about your health. You can introduce some new routines to lose weight, to gain muscles, or just you want to be fitter and healthier. So I'm just going to be changing my diet. So therefore, we can go back to the gym. We can actually look at anything to do with homemade food. I'm going to be cutting back a little bit on the carbs or all the junk food, for instance, and I'm going to be focusing more on the organic type of food. We can actually brush up our skills on crafty things, so such as something which is connected to your hand, because Mercury rules sign, so it's intellectual, but it also, especially the Virgo sign, which is practical, it uses its hand quite a lot. So we can do, I don't know, a cooking course, for instance, if that's something you wish to. You can get involved with animals. So maybe you can make a donation, or you can buy a pet for yourself if you like it. Probably you can go for a medical checkup as well. And it's not because there is something wrong with you, but you can actually, maybe just a blood pressure, a cholesterol level, and all those type of things could be a smart idea. You can actually go and buy a diary, or you can go through your schedule, and you can actually build kind of like a routine for yourself. But also Virgo is very much to do with self-healing as well. So Virgo rules actually something to do with your gut. So it could talk about the need to actually do a declutter in your bowel system as well. You can actually go for a Reiki session if you like it. You can organize the storage areas, so the pantry, the garage, and all those type of areas, whatever you want to be actually seeing a little bit tidier. Or if you wish, you can also apply for some type of new jobs as well, if that's something you like. Now, Virgo is typically about food like carrots or potatoes or parsnip, for instance, typically the type of vegetables which is grown underneath the earth. So actually that might be very beneficial for your body, but it really depends on your chart as well. Now, when it comes to those medical parts, actually, Virgo rules over your nervous system because it's Mercury ruled. At the same time, it also rules some parts of your stomach, especially the selection of the food part. So it's worth actually paying attention to those. There could be, they could be a little bit more sensitive. Now, again, important to mention that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have some issues with that. It depends on where the Virgo house cusp is in your chart. But Virgo also, from a medical perspective, it is a cold and dry planet. So, sorry, cold and dry sign. So it could indicate the dryness itself, that we need to have a little bit more water to not to get dehydrated. And the cold energy can indicate that we need some spiciness in our life as well. So actually we get our system go a little bit. Okay, so Virgo talks about the absorption of the nutrients in your body, but also it rules over pancreas, the autonomic nervous system. Virgo is the affinity to hygiene, sanitization, and diet overall. So typical illnesses with Virgo is something to do with diarrhea or problems with the digestion or constipation, sacrum trouble, or actually it could also indicate some type of food sensitiveness as well. I do believe that Virgo's health is closely connected to their state of mind, because it is Mercury ruled. So when we tend to be worrying, or when we've got anxiety, or we feel kind of burnt out at work, that could be causing problems both on a physical and a mental level as well. Okay, and the nervous system can stress the digestive system, leading to constipation or wind or diarrhea, or I feel bloated. Okay, so Virgo's health is very much dependent on the condition of the mind. They can become depleted due to overwork or the perfection of a project. They will forego sleep and food while concentrating on work, leading to a lack of energy. And it could actually indicate hypoglycemia as well. So basically low blood sugar level. Okay, so you might want to be actually focusing on that a little bit. Yeah, so pretty much this is what we should know about the Virgo elements. Maybe just a couple of words about each of the sign, right? So if you have got Aries rising sign, actually this is going to be triggering your 6th house, which we said it's all about health, work, the routine, something to do with your pets, or even it illuminates stuff in your working conditions as well. If you have got Taurus rising sign, then actually the Virgo cusp is falling into your 5th house, which is very much about the dating life, something to do with our children. So actually the start of the school is probably very prominent, or it could be frustrating to the Taurian energies, but also it could show something around your creative level as well. If you have got Gemini rising sign, then the Virgo cusp is in your 4th house. So it highlights something in your work, in your home environment. So it could be actually a brilliant time to declutter those storage areas, whatever I've mentioned. But also it might be about sorting out some family issues as well around your roots. If you have got Cancer rising sign, then actually the sun is going to be triggering your 3rd house matters. And remember that the sun always highlights an area of life in our chart. So 3rd house is very much about transport, short distance travels, maybe some of the issues or connections with your siblings. But also it might be that you have to declutter your communication channels, such as your mind. Maybe the way I communicate with my siblings and the way I speak to, or I get spoken to by my neighbors also. If you have got a Leo rising sign, then the sun is going to be highlighting your financial situation the most. The 2nd house is something to do with your personal resources, your assets, but also it's your eating habits as well. So you might notice that I've put on weight, and then now I have to be going back to the gym and then do something about it. If you have got Libra rising sign, then actually, sorry, if you have got Virgo rising sign, then the sun will highlight the first house, which is something to do with your look, your approach to life. So it's very possible that you're going to be focusing a lot more on health. Maybe I don't want to eat so much meat. I want to eat less chemical related food, all those E's in the food. You become a little bit, maybe you become a little bit more nitty gritty or picky about what you put into your body. So it's typically about self-awareness. If you have got Libra rising sign, then actually the sun will be transiting your 12th house, which is very much about decluttering those monsters within us. So getting rid of them eventually. The 12th house is something to do with our subconscious. So we might need to be facing our subconscious fears, but also it could be about why I have self-sabotaged myself so far, maybe through work. And maybe it also helps you to spiritually connect with others or with yourself, or even with spiritual subjects in your life. If you have got Scorpio rising sign, then the sun will be going through your 11th house, which is very much about your long-term goals. So it might be that you have got a brilliant idea coming to your head, what you want to be doing in the next few years. But also it might be time to sort out some of your issues with a friend of yours or in groups. Or you might just feel the need to be part of a community also. If you have got Sagittarius rising, then the sun will be transiting your 10th house, which is related to career. So it's time to be more organized at your workplace. It might be time to think about your profession. Am I on the right road? Do I want to make any type of changes in my life? Or it might be the time to get some reward or to kind of boost your reputation in your own field. If you have got Capricorn rising, then the sun will be going through your 9th house, which might bring you some type of international travels, but you might start thinking about studying something or just boosting your knowledge around certain topics. Or maybe you are going to be changing your belief system, decluttering your beliefs. If you have got Aquarius rising sign, then the sun will be going through your 8th house, which is highlighting something around your intimacy department, the bond I'm making with others, the trust issues I might have towards other people as well as towards myself. So can I believe that I am good enough to achieve something? So it might be an indication that in the next 1 month, you need to go through a significant transformation. Remembering that the biggest mystery of our life is actually ourselves. And last but not least, Pisces rising sign, you're going to have the sun going through your 7th house, which is highlighting the one-to-one relationships in your chart. It can be on a personal or a business level as well. Now, I'd like to point out that transits in the 7th house doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to bring a relationship to us. However, it can. But it definitely highlights the fact that we start thinking about why I don't have relationship, why I'm single, what am I doing wrong? And with the Virgo cusp, we can actually become self-scrutinizing also. Okay, so this is something you might want to be watching out for yourself. Now, maybe a couple of summary on some of the keywords, the positives and the negatives for Virgo. We might want to be looking at that. So Virgo is very adaptable, very analytical. It tends to be quite a careful sign as well. It is perfectionist. It wants to create order. It can go down on the nitpicking side, but it's productive, it's precise. But when it doesn't work properly within us, then it becomes a it becomes fussy, it might discriminate also. So on a world level, discrimination could be actually a huge topic for us. It could become very critical also. It's like highly strung, basically. Okay, but apart from the meticulous part, it has got a very great mental capacity, but Virgo is a little bit modest about it. Okay. So these are the most important, oh, and then it is all about the process, what we do. So the synthesis is a very important keyword for Virgo. So I hope this video helps you to understand a little bit more on your journey in the Virgo season. Probably when it comes to, like, if you want to be doing some type of crystal work, for instance, you can use sapphire or even opal, because that's very much connected to the Virgo season. And anything to do with nuts, so especially walnut, hazelnut, are very good to use around your magic also. Even cinnamon is something which is very nice. So thank you, everyone, and see you shortly with another video. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.